If you're somebody who has big dreams, big goals, big vision, and you're ready to make that profound life change, that change in your business that unlocks the income, impact, influence that you want, your brain is either enabling you to sail through the actions that creates this profound change, or your brain is taking you into a place of overwhelm, indecision, inaction, that actually means ultimately that profound change doesn't happen and everything stays the same. What you might find is happening is you're getting overwhelmed by all of the ways, all of the things that you could possibly do to make this change in your business that will lead to this change in your life. You may even find yourself trying to do all of the things and nothing is shifting the needle. You're just feeling frustrated and you're feeling overwhelmed. What most entrepreneurs do if they're looking for that profound change in their business, if they're wanting to hit that next income level, reach more people, become better known for the thought leadership that they have, they look for the strategy that is going to make a difference to where they're at. Ultimately, though, it is not the strategy that directs that action forward. It's how you feel as the person taking that strategy, and how you feel will guide whether that strategy works for you at all. So even if you are given the best strategy in the world, the most amazing strategy in the world, if you don't feel good about taking that action, you won't take it. Or maybe you'll start to follow that strategy, follow those instructions, but you'll adapt and change them to a place that feels comfortable for you. For example, there is so much profound, amazing strategy going around about how to connect with people online strategy, funnels, visibility strategies, posting strategies, advice about reels. You might be in that overwhelm right now of which action do I take? Do I go to advertising? Do I keep showing up on reels? How do I make these reels actually attract clients? How do I have those conversations in the DMs? And you are downloading the freebies, watching the webinars, and your brain is doing that thing. It is taking you into that overwhelm with all these choices, all of these things. The strategy that you are missing is working on your emotions. Think of all the experiences that you've had in your life, going back to even when you were born, thousands and thousands and thousands of experiences. And then ask yourself, which of the experiences do you remember? Do you remember all of those experiences? Or do you just remember the really, really good experiences? Or the really, really bad and sad experiences? Our brain is only able to remember, catalog, and file experiences related to the emotions that they created in the moment. So if in any experience you have an emotion of a high emotional charge, be it a positive emotional charge or a negative emotional charge, your brain will file away that experience in the supercomputer cabinet of your brain, and the file will have an emotion attached. So that going forward through life, if ever you are in an experience that triggers that emotion again, your brain will be able to go back to that filing system and check in to see what was the nature of that experience. Was that an experience that made you feel safe, made you feel protected, allowed you to thrive? Or was it an experience that made you feel bad, made you feel unsafe, or maybe even threatened your life? Your brain is consistently going along every single day based on the emotions that you have, from the experiences that you have, making decisions that guide your action. Emotions are the end product of experiences. So in that moment, in that beautiful moment where perhaps your dad came home from work and you remember yourself running up to his legs, grabbing him, holding him, loving on him so hard because you'd missed him all day, and that experience went into those memory files in that high emotional charge of love. You feel good about that experience. You feel good about that connection. You attach meaning to the experience that you had. You will replicate that experience, that connection, those relationships to feel that good feeling again. Think about a less positive memory. Maybe you stood up at school and you were asked to stand at the front of the classroom and recite your times table, and you froze. You couldn't remember how to skip those numbers, and you didn't say anything at all, and everybody started to laugh at you. All of those kids in your classroom, as you stood up there, visible for everyone to see, ready to share this thing that you knew, and all of a sudden you didn't feel smart anymore. You felt stupid. Maybe your teacher said something horrible to you as well, and you went back to sit down just feeling terrible. That memory is stored away as a file, something connected to getting visible, sharing what you know, using your voice. Visibility may mean, emotionally for you, being exposed, being at risk of feeling bad. So any visibility strategy that you try, you're always going to shrink it to the nature of that feeling instead of expand to the potential of the strategy. Did you know that by changing one single emotion, you can actually resolve thousands and thousands and thousands of limiting thoughts? Imagine trying to work through all those limiting thoughts that you have. I don't have time. I don't have money. I can't afford it. What if this happens? Imagine trying to work through them one by one by one and resolve all of the things that are holding you back. Instead, think about changing the one profound emotion that is linked to all of those thoughts, and just changing a few of those emotions that you have, and the profound difference this would make in your results. So what emotions do you have to heal to be able to make that profound change in your life, that profound change in your business, and step into the income, the impact, and the influence that you truly want? I'm going to share with you the 4 most common emotions that we can work with that are problematic for most entrepreneurs, so that you can change them, so that you can turn thousands and thousands of limiting thoughts around and take profound action in your business that is going to create profound results. That first emotion, shame. We've all felt it. We've all been in that scenario where, let's picture it out. You have this creative idea. You feel like it's your next step. You feel intuitively like it's the next thing that you have to do in your business to get more visible, more known, connect with more clients, connect with new clients, have recognition, feel significance. And then all of a sudden, these feelings start coming up, and you start feeling that imposter syndrome, like you're not good enough. Like underneath, you're fearing that if you stand up and you share this or you create this thing, something really bad is going to happen. If we think back to those childhood experiences, that experience of being stood at the front of the classroom and feeling like you've got something wrong or you're not smart, when you're in those 0 to 7 years, your brain is in a theta brainwave, which means it is just a sponge to those experiences and the beliefs that are created from them. They are literally just sucked in and imprinted and held onto as your truth. Maybe you were laughed at in the playground. Maybe you were belittled. Maybe your mum used to always tell you you did the wrong thing and made bad decisions. All of those things are going to get your mind focusing on the worst case scenario in any scenario that you are in, any reality that you are trying to create. And that worst case scenario, that focus on the worst case scenario, ultimately it's going to manifest because your mind is constantly kicking into that worst thing that can happen. A couple of years ago, my little daughter got incredibly sick. She just came down all of a sudden with a virus that went very, very serious, very, very fast. I found myself in this hospital staring at her little face, tubes in her nose, doctors telling me all these scary things. And I went straight to their knowledge, to their experience. And because of my fear and my helplessness, just believed that the only scenario was the one that they were telling me was likely to happen. I was able to step back from this situation and get some coaching to remind me of the power of manifestation, and that whatever we focus on becomes, whatever we can believe with conviction can happen. And straight after I'd had that coaching, I went into affirmation, I went into visualization, I went into feeling my daughter was already recovered. And guess what? My daughter recovered in 12 hours overnight. She had this miraculous turnaround. It was insane. I almost couldn't believe it myself. And I remembered something that day, that we do get to create that best case scenario, and we do create it in our mind first. We have to feel the emotions as if the thing that we want has already happened, and we cannot allow ourselves to go to the emotions of that worst case. And to be able to do that, we have to heal those emotions, those experiences that created those programs in the first place. Another emotion that I see a lot that is really limiting for people is guilt. So imagine that you are a coach and you have signed up this brand new client. You feel so attached to the outcomes for this client because, you are emotionally connected to their story. They signify something big for you, a step forward in your business, income attached, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, you find yourself trying to please this client. You step over the boundaries that you have set and start giving too much, answering emails in between the times that are set out, giving more resources than you promised, and you start to burn out. We can look at where that action, that reaction has come from. Maybe when you were a child, you were compared to your siblings. Maybe your siblings were super smart and you didn't feel that smart. Maybe you're the creative one and they were the analytical ones, and they did well at maths and you did well at art, and maybe you weren't recognized for those artistic skills. And so you learned to try to please your parents. Maybe you are that iconic middle child and your other siblings were quite dramatic and had lots of things going on, had lots of needs. And as a middle child, you just got unnoticed, unseen. And again, you tried to step out and please your mum. Maybe your mum or your dad had needs. Maybe they had health issues, mental health issues. And as a child, you stepped up into a responsibility role to help them. And you've laid down these belief systems that it's really all or nothing. If you are nothing, then you are a failure. And if you give everything, that leads to success. So you get into that pattern, that reactive behavior of people pleasing. The thing is, when you're in these extremes of holding back and not giving it all for fear of it's not being perfect versus giving everything and going all in and burning out, it actually, which then leads back to taking no action and shrinking, it actually robs you of the process of getting good at something, trying something, risking failing. The power is in getting to a place where you can take the emotion out of a situation and see every situation as black or white, and you can learn to immerse yourself in the process of everything, in the process of expansion. Everything in the universe is always expanding, including you, which means we can and we should be expanding our skills all of the time without that feeling of, I'm doing this because I'm not good enough, or I'm doing this to please somebody else. I'm doing this because I love myself, I am worthy, and everything is an expansion in the universe, and I am as well. I am expanding to that next level that I want. Not those limiting feelings that will have you shrinking back, self-sabotaging, or procrastinating. The third emotion, and this one happens to the best of us, it happens to all of us, and it's happening all of the time, is fear. I had a coaching client who had such a wild heart, such a sense for adventure. She had this beautiful holistic business on the side of working full-time in a job that she hated in a town where she didn't feel good or aligned. And she was putting off this move because of these beliefs that she had and this fear that she had that if she threw this job out and she moved to her dream location and she went all in her business, that her business would fail and she would be broke. There is a reason there is the acronym. Fear is evidence appearing real. It is because it is absolutely true. We are seeing our situation, whatever situation we are in, through the lens of those belief systems, again, which create those emotions like fear that hold us back from taking those profound steps that create changes in our lives and create the results that we want. The power with fear is always to challenge it. If fear is evidence appearing real, what stops you from challenging the fears that you have to find the truth? I had this other client who, from experiences she'd had as a child, she felt like a burden. She felt like she didn't have needs or her needs weren't worthy, and this was really, really affecting her in her business. Imagine that you see somebody engaging with your content and you want to engage in the direct messenger and you want to say, I can help you with this problem. I can offer you a service. I can create a resolve. However, She would go into the DMs feeling as if she was a burden, and as if they didn't need her support, as if she wasn't good enough to support them. And she would fear that reaction that she had as a child, that it wouldn't be favorable, that it would be harmful, that it would be scary, I guess, for want of a better word. And so this actually became a problem, that she wouldn't send those messages and she wouldn't send those sales. Assuming is a fear-based reaction. It is one that we all have, and we all do it a lot. We fear an outcome that is programmed within us to be something negative. And so we look through the lens of that fear, and we assume things of people that will save us from the feeling that we don't want to have. We assume people don't have enough money to work with us because we don't want to hear no. We assume that people don't need our support because we don't want to hear no. We assume that, that everything's sorted for them and that they don't have issues because we don't want to hear no. We feel that burden, like my client felt that burden going in, asking for what we want, when the reality is that there's a truth that is entirely different to what we assume. And that client might be on their hands and knees begging for the support that we have, and we never take the opportunity to ask them. By taking initiative, by resolving your fears, by doing the work to know your worth, to know your needs, and to be proud of them, to be proud of you, to be proud of what you know, to be sure about what you believe with conviction, you get what you want, just like you get to create that best case scenario just by focusing on it in your mind. The fourth emotion is pride. And you might think that that's not a bad emotion, Claire. Pride's a good thing. I feel proud, but actually, there is a scale of emotions. As per David R. Hawkins, he created a scale of emotions that have a frequency attached. And when you're in the lower emotions, like guilt, like shame, like fear, and he includes pride as a lower frequency emotion, life is happening by force. Because of these negative frequencies, things aren't happening easily for you. And you are making things hard as well in your action, because those actions are coming from a limited place. And pride comes again from those experiences where we have not been the best at something that we have tried. And so from one experience, once again, we will overgeneralize all experiences, even before we've attempted to have them, that they will all be the same as the experience that we had. And this is stopping you getting more aligned. This is stopping you claiming the income, the impact, and the influence that you want. And I am here to help you do things in an entirely better way. We all have a story. We all have experiences. I am in the Victim to Victory book, sharing my story, sharing how my story created the blueprint that I have to help you, because I know how these emotions can limit what you want in your life. But if you're like me and you have that soul goal to make a difference and do it in a way where you're filthy rich, where you are wealthy and able to experience an abundance in your own life, give your children the most amazing experiences, give to projects, give to charities, create foundations. I am here to show you a way forward where you can have it all and it can be easy. It just takes courage. Courage is the line between those lower frequency emotions and those higher frequency emotions. And in those higher frequency emotions, if we can live through those emotions, joy, unlimited love, enlightenment every single day, because we have resolved those emotions of the past, we get to have those emotions guide our interpretation of the reality that we have, and guide those big life decisions that we make, and guide how we take action on these powerful strategies that are given to us in our business to create the results that we want. I learned once from a TED Talk this idea that emotions aren't just this thing in your mind, like a bank, that they're stored in there, that they're just sat in there. And then in the moment, your brain taps into this little emotion bank and takes one out and then says, here you go, this is how you should react. Emotions are created completely from scratch in the moment you are in the experience. They are created from the belief system that you have. So if you can change your belief systems, then in the moment, when your mind reaches back into those experiences, there will be no negative emotions that it latches onto to divert from an experience that aligns with your truth. The emotion will be created in the moment of joy, excitement, something that takes you forward, something that gets you into powerful action, something that allows you to take risk and go big, get super visible, use your voice, scream from the rooftops. What it is that you believe can change the world. So work out that, connect with yourself, learn about yourself, chuck everything out that is misaligned to you. Start healing those limiting emotions and have the courage to step into your power. If you are ready for transformation, if you are ready for that 2.0 version of yourself, creating this business that you are proud of in a positive way, that is creating the income, the impact, and the influence that you want, the way to do that is what I call activating your miracle frequency. And your miracle frequency is where you are just a bundle of those higher frequency emotions every single day. You are in a higher consciousness. You have stepped away from the victim consciousness that I talk about in my book to unlock this way of living your life where things happen for you. Synchronicities and miracles are part of your status quo. You are attracting what you want to you with ease, and you are in this place of freedom where you get to create what you want every day without those limiting emotions. We activate your miracle frequency in such an easy way. I have created 7 simple 7-minute neurosomatic rituals that tap into the ancient wisdom of your body and tap into how we can work with your subconscious mind to create new empowering belief systems, a new level of energy and vibration. And all you have to do is use these 7 simple 7-minute neurosomatic rituals 7 times a day. I have created a free app where you get to tap in to these amazing, simple, powerful rituals, and at the same time, connect with a community of people who are on the same journey as you, seeking what I call awakened wealth, where you are creating money in a way that aligns to your joy and passion and desire for impact and freedom, and where you are supported with accountability to tap in 7 times a day to yourself, to connect with your truth and raise your vibration. A client came to me once and I offered her this suggestion of the 7x7 method, just sitting with herself, creating space in her mind every single day. And she said, Claire, I just can't let go of the to-do list. I just can't let go of the thoughts that go around my head. And I said to her, are those thoughts creating the reality that you want? Are you making the income from the action that you're taking? And she said, no. Are you making the impact that you want from the action that you're taking? No. Do you have the influence from that procrastination that you're feeling and that self-sabotage that is happening from these thoughts filling up your head and filling up that space? And she said, no. I said, so what do you trust more? Do you trust those thoughts spiraling constantly, filling your head with rubbish, leading to action that is not powerful, leading to inaction? Or do you trust sitting in the space and creating the vibration of everything that you want, so that everything that you want starts attracting to you and you have that inspired action come through from a place of truth, from a place of the truth of you, so that your business is a radical expression of who you are and how you want to make a difference in the world? And she said, oh my God, I trust the space. This client went on to earn significant amounts in her business. And I'm inviting you to do the same too. If every single thought has an energetic equivalent, if that energy is what is creating your reality, because everything in your reality is a mirror to who you are energetically, what do you trust more to create what you want? Jump into the link below in the description and access my amazing Awakened Wealth community. Download the app that is going to help you to tap into those neurosomatic rituals every single day. And also tap into other resources to grow your income, grow your impact, and grow your influence. And thank you for listening to this video. I will see you right over there soon. Bye-bye.